I'm a G. Today, I'm a gang freak. I see these rappers hanging on TV, but they ain't got nothing on the insane gang freak. Hey! 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 But I'm not a rapper though. He says he's not a rapper! He says he's not a rapper! Oh, I have problems. But it's okay. It's alright. I appreciate you putting up with my shit anyway. Anywho, yo, what's up, guys? It's the Insane Gang Freak. Hey! So, I've been meaning to do this Nintendo Online video for a while, but I kind of got distracted with other things, other topics, and then other reports were put out, and it was like, it was about that time I come back and address it, especially, and it seemed like I waited for the perfect time because Nintendo went ahead and said, our online service is starting in September of 2018. So, I thought it'd be only fair to discuss and compare about what they need to do or what the standard should be of where they should hit in terms of being appealing. Because I know a lot of people are excited for this. I'm not going to say I'm excited about it because I don't want to pay for online. I've yet to pay for any online gaming service. PlayStation Plus, Xbox Live Gold. Have never paid for either one of those services because I didn't think it was justified to do so. Unfortunately, now I haven't lost the ability not to pay. I just gotta hope to God nothing online worthy comes out on the Switch after September, which, knowing my luck, it will, which means Nintendo will probably more likely be the first service I end up paying monthly for, or in my case, probably yearly, because it's just a better deal to do that. And I said, well, fine. I can understand the excitement because they think that the service will be better than what we currently get, which I don't think the service we currently get is pretty bad anyway, but that's subjective, and I'll leave that up to other people's opinions and those who actually have enjoyed Sony and Xbox's online for the last 2 generations. But I did want to discuss and compare the 3 online services and what Nintendo would kind of need to do at the minimum, and some ideas of things that they could do to step outside the box, because the one thing that gets people excited for why Nintendo would do anything is because Nintendo never does anything like everybody else does for the most part, which makes shit interesting. It's the reason why people like having them as a console manufacturer, because they never do shit the same way everybody else does. Why do you think you can't really have fun with Sony rumors? Because Sony literally does the same fucking thing every generation. We're gonna slightly change the controller, beef up the hardware, here's some new features. Like, there's not really much to say there. Whereas you can easily say that the GameCube, the Wii U, and the Switch are all different fucking consoles. Aesthetically and just in terms of what their primary appeal was. So, enough dilly-dallying, and let's get to the point at hand. So I actually went and did a bunch of research just to make sure I was correct on this information, just to see what... Because, I mean, as I said, I've never paid for any of these services, so I'm not 100% sure what the main appeal of these services are. And the 3 things I've narrowed it down to: online gameplay, which includes party chats, discounts on games that are currently in the shop, PSN, Xbox, whatever, and free games. And I was like, okay, in terms of pricing, are they any different? No, it seems to be Sony's bump up was essentially just putting them at the same level of Xbox. So the only other thing that PlayStation fans could have argued is that, hey, our service is cheaper. It's not cheaper anymore, so it's kind of a relevant point. As of right now, they literally all cost the same, no matter it's 1, 3, or 12 months. You're still spending the same fucking amount, no matter which one you go with. So then it's about, okay, well, the quality of the service and what comes with it. Now, online gameplay and party chat, there's nothing really to compare there. So I said, okay, let's look at the amount of discount games and the amount of free games you get. The discount game, it's weird because I would argue that Xbox has the bigger lineup, but that's only if you don't count in bundles. So so here's the breakdown, at least using the last few months as an examples. Microsoft tends to have more in terms of like raw games, because like for this monthly example, Microsoft has like 42 games that are on discount and Sony has like 30, but but Sony also has like, what is it? Like 17 bundles. If I include the bundles, which are bundles of more than one game, then they have 47 in total, which is more appealing. But like Microsoft doesn't seem to have bundles; it just seems to be straight games. They have 42 straight games you can get at a discounted price, whereas Sony has about 30 games in themselves. If you don't want to buy a bundle, if you want to buy a bundle, then it's like it's 47 in total. Now, I'm not including in some of the extra bullshit that Sony throws on their site, which is this fuckery about avatars and themes that are on discounts, which makes Sony's service a little bit more appealing just on that base level. If you look through Sony stuff, you can get themes and avatars for cheaper, although I'm pretty sure, I don't know, Xbox site didn't really give that much information in terms of discounted themes and avatars. So, but in terms of just the game service, which to me is the most important part, Microsoft has probably the most overall games, but Sony, including bundles, has more shit to pick from. So but the whole point is that they're about around the 30 to 50 range. So that's the range of games that are on discount, is somewhere between 30 to 50. Then getting into the free games, which is a vastly smaller number. I was actually surprised. People used to brag about that shit all the time. Sony and Microsoft give you free games if you get on PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live. Well, if anyone's looked at Microsoft's, it's like 3 games for this month, and then for fucking Sony is like 9. And some people go, oh, well, that means Sony has more. Well, kind of, because here's the kicker. Sony's games are not only just, it's not just PlayStation 4 games. If I'm talking just PlayStation 4 games, I think it's like 2 or 3, because they have a PSVR game in there, they have a digital download game in there, they have a PS Vita game in there, and a PS3 game. The kicker, though, is that the PS4 game and the PS Vita game are the same game. It's Psycho-Pass. So it's not even like I would count, even if I wanted to be 100% fair about it, it's more like 8 games compared to 3. And even hell, even I think the month, and then like the after that, it's like another 2 games for Microsoft. So the point is that the free games is not all it's cracked up to be, because it's just adding in like another 3 fucking games. So it's not like they're getting this huge supply of free games every month. It's like it's less than 10 for both consoles. For right now, from what we know that we're going to get discounts based off of the information they have on their site. We know that we're going to get this like growing catalog or compilation of NES games with online features, and we're going to get discounts. So you got the discounts, the online chat, multiplayer bullshit, and then the catalog of growing NES games with, or just old. I don't think it's going to be anything higher than NES and maybe Super NES games with online capabilities. So we know since we're going to get discounts, that means that the discounts, and granted, Switch has been doing discounts already anyway. It's not like the service is going to usher that in. I'm hoping the service just gives the discounts more effectiveness. Meaning, like, if something's on sale for like $15, if you're like a Nintendo Online member, it's like maybe $5 or $10 instead of the $15 that a normal person would get it on sale for. That remains to be seen, but that's the general idea I'm going with. But that means at the bare minimum, hopefully the online, chat and gaming is on the system and not the fucking app. That's the first hurdle we're going through. That's the first hurdle. The second hurdle is that when it comes to discounts, because it's 20 to their 60, that means a third of what they offer, Nintendo should have at the minimum, which would put them at least 10 to 15 games on discount a month. So that's the second thing. And then as far as it's weird because they're not offering free games. I mean, technically they are, but they're not. The free games are just NES games compared to Microsoft and Sony's, like, mix of older and newer games. So I guess the argument is it better be a good stream of NES online capable games. The free games isn't that big of a deal because, like I said, it's less than 10. It's less than 10 games for every... It's less than 10 games on both consoles. So it's like, oh, look at these free games I'm getting. And you're like, you mean like the 3 or 4 of them over there? Well, that's great. But it is the next thing, is that you better have a good stream of NES titles we're getting, and I'm curious how that's going to work. Okay, fine, they're NES titles with online capabilities. Will I be able to buy them if I don't have the service? And if I can there be some disparity between the two? Like, for example, like, is it going to be like PlayStation Plus and Xbox One where it's only free? You can only access the games if you have the system. So if you have like the Nintendo Online subscription, then you can play the games. If you don't have the subscriptions, it doesn't matter. And if it is, I hope that there's a discount for me being able to buy those games. Like, let's say I wanted to buy those just straight out, just so I don't have to worry about the whole, if I end my subscription, I can't play the game online, which ironically is kind of a weird thing, because if I did that, I still couldn't play the game online because I need the subscription to play it online. So they may lock it behind that. I'm not 100% sure, and we don't know until later, until they reveal more information. And then here's some extra stuff I think that they should include. We have My Nintendo, right? Right now, that only fucking seems to work for like 3DS and Wii U, and the only thing you get for, I don't think you get anything for Switch. I think you just get all these fucking, I think you just get all these mobile phone wallpapers. So there isn't a lot of incentive for Switch owners to even indulge in My Nintendo right now. So I guess the big question is, because I feel like My Nintendo is going to be the defining feature to justify kind of getting into Nintendo Switch Online, on top of Nintendo Switch Online having its own set of features. And one of the major things I really want to push is that I think they should have a coupon system. And I mean like a legit coupon system. I don't mean this fucking, kind of what they're already doing with 3DS and Wii U, because they finally started getting on that horse and being like, you know, maybe we should offer like legit discounts instead of this bullshit we were offering before. Because like that was like the biggest issue with 3DS and Wii U. They would offer like discounts and free games, but it'd be like this really small selection, and it'd be shit that you wouldn't really care about. And then they did this whole thing where they got tailor-made offers just for you, but if you already own the game, why is like, then it's irrelevant. It was fucking irrelevant, which I can suck. Like, I remember when my birthday came and they had their discounts on for your birthday, and like either A, I owned the games they had up there, or B, I didn't want the game, so it didn't fucking matter. So I think one of the first things they really need to focus on is making a legit coupon system, meaning kind of like what I would say, kind of like what Best Buy does, where it's a reward system. So as I buy games on the Nintendo Online thing, it goes to my Nintendo, and those accounts those points add up, and then I can buy coupons. I think the highest coupon it should probably be is maybe $10 or $15. More likely it'll be 10 or 5. That's perfectly fine. And then I can take that coupon and redeem it on any of the eShops, whether it's the Wii U, 3DS, or Switch, and buy a game discounted. And the kicker should be is if I have Nintendo Online, because you should be able to own these coupons regardless if you're buying games, period, let alone if you're playing them online. If I have Nintendo Online, they get maybe like a 2% uptick. So like, if it's $5, it'd be like $5.50 because you're an online member. I feel like that would be cool, and that would give me more incentive to buy digital, because it's obvious that that's a lot what these companies are trying to do, is get you to buy digital. Which to me is the only way you even are justified to buy digital on consoles is if you're a PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live Gold member, because of all these little discounts you get. And some of the games are like new PlayStation 4 games. They got FIFA on there already and shit. It just it depends. And honestly, I still think we should have a free option. I don't think we're going to, but I would like it, especially, and I mean this, especially if this shit isn't like up to snuff. And there's a sinking feeling in every Nintendo fan's heart that it won't be. But for me, the bare minimum now, knowing what I know about PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live Gold, is the discount games. There needs to at least be 10 to 15 games every fucking, like, at all times in the goddamn eShop for Nintendo Online members, specifically for Nintendo Online members. The collection of NES games with online capability, which granted is a unique feature and is something I can totally get behind, needs to be a pretty substantial growth over time. It can't be this fucking like one game here, no games for 2 weeks. kind of like what they did with the virtual, like they did with the, what was it, the virtual console on the Wii U, where like sometimes you would just go like weeks without having any games on there, or it'd be like this 1 or 2, 3 games, and games that are on the Wii's original shop weren't even on the Wii U shop. It was fucking stupid. It didn't make any goddamn sense. So we need some steady growth and some consistent growth, and it'd be a good catalog of online NES games I can play with friends. Yes, and obviously if I want to own those games, I should have the ability to do that instead of this possible PSN, you only get to keep the games as long as you get the subscription. And then hopefully, and the most important thing, messaging, voice chat, all on the Switch. It needs to be on the Switch. Just the fucking Switch. The app can still exist as a companion piece. That's not the problem. It cannot be the only function, and it should not be considered the main function of the app. The main function shouldn't be to do what the console's supposed to do. The console should just do what it's supposed to do. So that's my whole argument there. But that's where I'm at right now, and I still think that a coupon system would be totally something that needs to happen. Take hints not only from like Sony and Microsoft, because I mean the discount in the free games is fine, but the free games are so fucking like minuscule. It's not like a huge issue if you don't have it, especially if you're replacing them with NES games with online capabilities, which gives me more games to play, presumably. And it also allows, you know, especially like the families and shit, it allows like the older gamer to kind of show the younger gamer what kind of, it's kind of like it's a generation cross gap, where the young gamer is so used to online and the old school gamer is so used to playing like the old school NES games. You cross over and boom, you appeal to both generations. It's not a bad idea. Just support it properly. And I'm just curious how deep these discounts are going to go. Like I said, as long as the discounts are about for 10 or 15 games a month, or yeah, 10 to 15 games a month consistently, it's fine for me. Especially because some people go, oh, but they have 40 something on PlayStation Plus and Xbox One. Yeah, but they're only charging you $20. I'm not gonna sweat it as much. And at the core of it all, I just want Nintendo to do something different. I don't want them to just do what Sony and Microsoft does, because that makes shit boring and it creates this weird like sense of repetition where all you're doing is looking at the same thing you were looking at for somebody else. It needs to be something different, and it needs to be something fresh. And from what I've heard from the investor meeting where they were talking about it, we're looking for very unique and appealing deals. Yes, and also very important, and the most important thing, cloud storage plays for saving games. That did not come out right. Cloud game saves, please. Cloud game saves, please. Please. Please, 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 please. I'm so tempted to do like what fucking Bleezel does in the Pokemon anime. That wee. Sorry, it's a weird. Don't pay me any attention. I'm fucking stupid. All right. Anyways, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. What do you think? What do you want? What do you don't want? What would be the most appealing for you? And do you think my quote unquote criteria so far is unrealistic? Thank you guys for watching. This has been the Insane Game Freak. Let's the gameplay to win. Catch you guys later. Peace. Oh.